with Final Fantasy XIV. Last time I streamed for you guys, we were going about trying to open a dialogue with the dragons, and then this fanatical group called the Brothers of the True Faith ended up burning down a bunch of houses in the Broom and some in the Pillars, and proceeded to take those refugees hostage and held them at ransom until Emmerich presented himself for execution because of the fact that he had ordered me and Alphino to go after the Archbishop. We managed to defeat them, but then a priest decided that he was going to make the situation better for him by kidnapping one of the refugees, a little girl, taking her to the top, and then threatening to push her over should anyone threaten him, which he then pushes her over anyway, only for Fidofnir to save her. So yeah, that's where we left off. Time to get going, as once it was. Alphino, Vakama, I've been looking all over for you. We've received news regarding Flameborne and Coltonay. Really? Has something happened? No, it's nothing bad. Quite the opposite, in fact. It seems that once they learned the Scion's good name had been restored, they boarded the next ship bound for Limsalaminsa. They should be arriving any moment now. It's easy to forget how useful link pearls are, isn't it? When they work, I mean. And you don't mind being spied on. Quite. But what wonderful news! To think that our reunion is close at hand. A pleasure to see you too, Alphino. Ah, Thancred. And Kryl. What brings the two of you here? Kryl and I have been looking into how we might track down Menphilia. And we may just have found the answer. Vakama, when you were fleeing Uldar with Menphilia, you said that Hydaelyn spoke to her shortly before you parted ways, yes? Well, assuming that is true, and I see no reason to suspect that it is not, it seems reasonable to conclude that Hydaelyn commanded her to remain behind. That is to say, the Mother Crystal directly interceded to guide Menphilia. Admittedly, this is all still quite hypothetical, but I propose that such intervention, however subtle, must surely leave behind some residual trace, a lingering disturbance in the ether, or ripple, if you will. In order to establish such existence of such ripples, of course, we will require suitable data. Fortunately, I know where such data can be found. The battleground where Vakama failed the ultimate weapon, and the site of my personal ignominy. 'Twas there that Hydaelyn intervened to shield him from the magic I invoked. Kryl and I will infiltrate the castrum and analyze the ether therein. The two of you? Alone? I have a proven knack for subterfuge, and I'm confident that it will be sufficient. And I'm confident there will be sufficient nooks and crannies in which to hide Kryl as patrols pass. Besides, if you and Vakama come along, who will see Flamine's grand homecoming? When you put it like that... Very well, I will trust in your plan. I know not whether this data will yield the means to find Menphilia, but it will at the very least eliminate another avenue of inquiry. Tataru and I will return to the Rising Stones and make preparations for our comrades' return. Might I impose upon you to meet them at the Lumenson docks? Then I shall see the four of you at the Rising Stones. Safe travels. Sorry, the chair I'm sitting in is quite squeaky. Very squeaky indeed. theme song. Running straight through. Well, there you are. Oh, Vakama! How have you been? Come here, let me have a good look at you. Thank the 12. One hears the strangest tales in foreign lands. I worried for you all every day. We would have sent word sooner, but the braves afforded us no opportunity. When they fell upon us in the market, it was all we could do to escape. Tataru found her way to you, of course, but we were forced to seek shelter aboard a harnessed vessel. It pained us not to be there when you needed us most. But we made the most of it, didn't we, Coltene? Studied and trained from dusk till dawn, we did. We would have sent word sooner, but we knew not whom to trust, and with the vast distance. But those dark days are behind us at last. I shall be glad indeed to return home and speak with my daughter. Ooh. What do you mean she's missing? How could you let this happen? Forgive me. I'm sure you're doing everything in your power to find her. As Thenkrid must be. He watched over her from the first, long before me, and he will watch over her to the last. I shall pray for her safe return, and busy myself in the meantime. For a certainty there is much more to be done. The braves may have blooded us, but the path remains, and we shall not be swayed from it. Aye, that's the spirit. To the Scions and a long overdue reunion. Huzzah! Well, there you have it. To the Rising Stones.
Well done, sir. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed.
Let us be about our business, then. The next patrol may not be so credulous.
Why must you be so disappointingly brusque? You're not at all as Minfilia described, you know. I don't think you favoured me with so much as a single compliment since we set out. Tell me, did your time in the wilderness sap you of all your charm? Or are you holding it in reserve for your beloved?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Well, call me old-fashioned, but when I'm risking life and limb infiltrating an Imperial castrum, I like to be sure of my comrades' motivations.
I see now where Alphino gets it from. Minfilia is dear to me. It is true. But not in the way you think. 15 years passed, when she was still but a child. There was an incident at a parade. A Gubu broke free of its fetters and ran amok through the streets of Ul'dah. Had I been more attentive, I could have prevented it. But I was distracted, and her father was killed. I feared she would never recover. But in the years that followed, she showed herself to be more resilient than I had ever imagined. And when she learned of her gift, she did not flinch from the responsibility, but sought to guide others on the path. She touched the hearts of all around her. Mine, Louisoix, every science. In those dark days following the calamity, she was our guiding light, our hope for a brighter future. She had so many dreams, and I would give anything to make them come true.
My apologies. I can see she means the world to you. I did not mean to pick at old scars.
No harm done, I assure you. But fair is fair, my lady. What is Minfilia to you?
You mean you don't know? Only my dearest friend. When I finally emerged from my torpor, I learned that nary a day had passed without her asking after me. She never gave up hope. And neither will I.
Then for Minfilia's sake, let us pray that these vestiges of Hydaelyn's intervention will lead us to her.
It feels good to be home again. To think that everyone is waiting for us, just beyond those doors. Friends and family with whom we shared so much. Gods help me, but the older I get, the more sentimental I become. Come, let us not keep them waiting.
Speak with the scions in the rising stones.
Okay. I can do that. Eliane, Ephemy, it fills my heart with joy to see you both hale and healthy. And what a Pigiri! She is well, though abroad on a mission at present. It just wasn't the same without you. Welcome back, my lady.
We could do with more of that. We could do with more of that around here. Heartfelt reunions with stalwart companions. Brings a bloody tear to the eye.
To secrete oneself in a ship's hold to secure safe passage to a faraway land. This is a tale we know all too well. When they are well rested, I should like to seek a formal introduction. Why wait, my friend? Come, there's no need to be shy. Pray grant me a moment longer, at least. Though I am happy to oblige you, my legs are rather less accommodating. Glad though I am to be home, I cannot help but think of those who have yet to return. Once we've settled in, I would join the search.
Orca! What in the seven hells drove my little brother to come to Mordona?
Why you, brother? You and the Scions, of course. For 1,000 days I trained, that I might grow as strong as you, that I might fight alongside you. Yet now that you are here, I sense that you have surpassed me once more. No, do not tell me. You trained with the Harnish, did you not?
Your eyes do not deceive, brother. I have studied the trials of the braves, and drunk deep of the souls of mine enemies.
It's been so long since I've seen them all like this. Too long. 'Twas the chaos born of my foolish ambition which forced them to flee. Though they are returned, there are others yet missing. Others whom we cannot forsake. We'll find them, Alphino. I know we will. Minfilia, Ida, Papalimo, every last one. And when they walk through those doors, we'll be here to welcome them home. With me at the head of the queue, of course. I'ma just do a little thing. The word of the mother. Thancred and Kryle contacted us a short while ago. It would seem that their foray into Castra Meridianum bore fruit. They asked that we rendezvous with them in Endistola in Idleshire, where they will share their findings. Rude though it is to depart without speaking with the guest of honor, I expect she'll forgive me if I return with her daughter.
Or at least news of her daughter.
I'm sure she'll be happy with that, even if we can't physically bring her home. For whatever reason. My apologies. I see I am the last to arrive. So, what news have you for us? Well, as we postulated, there were indeed what appeared to be the remnants of an unexplained disturbance in the ether at the scene of the ultimate weapon's destruction. A ripple at odds with the presiding pattern. Though faint, the waveforms bore a strong resemblance to those observed following the destruction of the Isle of Val, when I believe Hydaelyn shielded me with the blessing of light. To confirm our findings, we paid a visit to the Sildi aqueducts. There we detected the same waveform, but orders of magnitude larger, as one would expect from a more recent disturbance. Hydaelyn, there is no other explanation. But there is more. When I studied the site where Y'shtola used flow, it appeared that not 2, but 3 beings had been affected. Yet, unlike Y'shtola and Thancred, there is no trail to follow. Our unknown third party was simply there, and then not there. Now recall your visions of a vast crystal floating in a sea of ether. Though this too is but a theory, studies of gifted subjects suggest that, when communing with Hydaelyn, we briefly leave our bodies behind. So let us consider the facts. 1. Hydaelyn interceded. 2. A third being was caught in Ystola's flow and vanished without a trace. And 3. Hydaelyn may have the capacity to summon the consciousness of gifted individuals to her side. You're implying, I take it, that Hydaelyn guided Minfilia into the compass of my magic, that she might summon her, body and soul, unto the ethereal sea. In which case, we must needs continue our search there, for a blessing, the means to do so already exists. I speak of the Antitower, a Shardian construction conceived to provide scholars a vantage point over the ethereal sea. Though I know not where its entrance lies, we need only ask its last custodian, a contrary old crone who, for another blessing, refused to join the Exodus. Master Matoya was the keeper of the Antitower? I had no idea. And our course is clear. We must petition her aid once again. So I am very familiar with that tune because it is from the very first Final Fantasy. Boing! Oh, what a surprise. Well, what secrets have you come to extract from me this time? Ah, though it pains me to admit it, your words strike close to the mark. We humbly ask that you grant us entry to the Antitower, that we might use it to seek a friend who we believe has been transported to the ethereal sea. And who told you I could do such a thing, I wonder? The tower was abandoned to its magical keepers 15 years ago. They have the run of the place now. If that is no deterrent to you, then by all means. Is that all? I felt sure you would seek to dissuade us from our course, given your role as custodian. Role? Hardly. The Forum foisted that title on me. During the Exodus, every entrance to the Antitower was sealed, save one. My role consists of making sure no one with ill intent sneaks through it. Such was the Forum's final order to me. Well, I can remove the walls right now. Will you be going or not? We will, Master Matoya. We will do whatever it takes to find Minfilia. We'll see about that. You, Baldesian girl, you're staying here with me. I need your help to restore the wards to their original state. The rest of you can go, on the condition that you clean up the mess in the tower. If you encounter any unruly familiars, you're to tend to them. Those are my terms, and I'll hear no argument. Well, it appears the mistress has spoken. Lead the way, Vakama. Dungeon time! I forgot I had to do something. There we go. Spark. I just destroyed that boss. Goddamn mimics.
Ziggy!
That's not creepy at all. Nice.
Feel. Think. Through time and space hast thou journeyed unto me, as I knew thou wouldst. We are the word of the Mother. We, who were once called Minfilia. Much time hath passed for thee since the bloody banquet, since I hearkened to her word. Mother, Hydaelyn, guided me towards Y'shtola and Thancred, that I might be swept up in their flow and delivered unto the ethereal sea. There, adrift and alone, her voice silent once more, I prayed for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. To her I would make an offering. We speak now with one voice, one will, one word. Unto thee we bequeath the most precious of gifts, the truth which lieth at the heart of this world. Thus do we beseech thee once more. Hear, feel, think. Before there was life, in the depths of the ethereal sea, light and dark did once dwell as one. But the darkness coveted power, and the balance was broken. Thus was I forced to banish him unto the distant heavens, to forever remain apart, a moon bound. In sundering the star did we cry out, and the barriers twixt planes chanced to falter. Across 10 and 3 were we then divided, reflections of the source, each possessed of a shard. Zodiac longeth to be made whole. For his restoration, for his resurrection, his servants labor without cease. They seek to tear down the barriers which surround the source. Thus do they rejoice in their ardor, in your calamities, for each marks a rejoining. Seven times have they succeeded. 7 times hath the darkness grown stronger. 7 times have I failed. The Ascians cannot be suffered to continue. This is my final. The crystal's power is all but spent. With what remains, I will return you to the shore of the ethereal sea. Blessed children, go forth and seek. Seek.
You've had another vision, haven't you?
Let us return to Master Matoya's cave. Everyone will wish to hear what you saw.
They're not gonna like it.
Still in one piece, are we? Well, did you learn anything?
The word of the Mother? I'm not sure I understand.
Nor am I. Cryle?
As unbelievable as it sounds, I see no reason to doubt her. The word's tale. No one was more sensitive to the will of Hydaelyn than Menphilia. And if Hydaelyn has grown so weak that she can barely make herself heard, it is not hard to see why Menphilia, having joined with her, might struggle to maintain her own form.
What? Why would she need to maintain her own form? Are you saying she's gone? But that cannot be! Not now. Not after all we have accomplished. We were meant to usher in the dawn's light together!
She threw herself on the fire to fuel your dawn's light, boy. You'll just have to usher it in on your own.
Must you be so ungentle?
Tell me about the Scions, boy.
The Scions of the Seventh Dawn lay before Eorzea's salvation. Whenever the realm is threatened, be it by Primal, Ascian, Garlean, or any other, we take up arms in her defense, that all in Eorzea may live to see a brighter tomorrow.
And that's very noble of you. But in chasing after these lofty goals of yours, you seem to have lost sight of some basic truths. To win a war, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. To fight, to kill, and if necessary, to die. The path you've chosen is paved with the dead. Walk it with your eyes open, or not at all.
I know the truth of which you speak, and have from the first. If the Ascians will go to any length to resurrect their god, then we must needs be as committed to our cause, to unmask them and their schemes, and to crush them both utterly. Come, there is much to be done.
Yes, of course.
Thancred, wait! No. No, this is all wrong.
She's not coming back, is she? She did what she thought was best. I know that. I do. To give all for her beliefs was ever her way. So will we, as we must. What greater calling could there be than to stand against the dark as defenders of the light? And yet, where does it end? The sacrifice. The loss. I must ask that you not breathe a word of this to any of the others at the Rising Stones, especially Flamine. I will brief Jotaro on what we've learned, as well as Urianger. He may have insight into what the word has told us. As for you, Vakama, after all you've done, I would say you've earned a rest. But speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a missive from Sir Amarek while you were away. It would seem he is planning a ceremony of some sort and would like you to attend. He did not divulge the details, preferring to explain in person. Mayhap you should pay him a visit. Okay. Vakama Flameborne. The Lord Commander left instructions that you were to be shown inside. Oh, level 57.
Pleasure to see you again, my friend. I take it you received our invitation. Good, good. You of all people should be present. When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between man and dragon through Vidofnir's timely rescue of an innocent child. Timely, I say, though miraculous or providential might better describe the event. The gods themselves could not have devised a more fitting symbol of hope. Needless to say, we could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples. You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend. But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings, in which event your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance. Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the worm's ire, but if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change. "'Tis nothing. 'Tis nothing. Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen. It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the True Brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the Zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead. I knew you would understand. The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest. Lucia is there seeing to the final preparations even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. It would not do for the guest of honor to arrive late, after all. Oh, and one more thing. A drink! We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
Well then. I need to use the bathroom, so I will be back. am back. Sorry about that. Let's go speak with Lucia. The Lord Commander said you would come, Vakama. As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding apace. Mark well the curtain above. It conceals the relief that will be unveiled during the conference. The masons labored day and night to see it finished on schedule. Sir Emmerich wanted a symbol which would endure long after this conference is completed. I think he'll be pleased with the result. It was not my war, but I made it mine, and to see it draw closer to a resolution fills me with a strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? The certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I am rambling. You must be tired from your journey. Go, rest. I will not keep you. If you would rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. In addition to those who have come from far and wide to attend the ceremony, you may meet Lords Artoirel and Amanolaine, who have graciously volunteered their services. I should be glad to see you. Now, if you will excuse me, I must needs return to my duties. Do you know when everything's set to begin? I wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard that Sir Emmerich was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? And he's more than a fighter, too. He's a thinker, he is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things. And he'll do it, by the Fury. Me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it. Bap. Redwall! It's been too long.
I am glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Master Flameborne, and fear not. I've no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, Vidofnir made pass directly over their encampment. The last thing we need is a glory-seeking nobleman attempting to slay a Dravanian ambassador to a peace conference. Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just peace with the dragons, but with all them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand. We've all got a healthy fear of being bathed in dragon fire. That being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past, so hearing that we're close to a reconciliation comes as a great relief. Artoirel! Hello, dude. How much hath changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault. If you had told me then that we would soon be hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a naive fool. Yet here we are, preparing to make that fantasy a reality. Ha! and here I am, laboring to make it so. Lord Artorel, if I may. Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service? Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party have instead pledged to engage any Dravanians bound for Falcon's Nest. Fury take me. They would defy Sir Amric's commands? If they dare attack Vidofnir. It will not come to that, but to see that it does, we must needs hasten to their encampment. They should be far more reluctant to oppose us were a Lord of House Sporton present. I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Manolane while I am away? As you know, he has ever been an impulsive, changeable child. But recently he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist with guard duty, a simple but honourable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger, given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest, and I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. All I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return, exhausting though that may be. Thank you, friend. I promise we will not be long. I'm rather busy at the moment, old boy, guarding this tavern, as it were. Oh, I see now. Artorel thought I might be derelict in my duties, eh? The nerve of my brother to question my dedication. But since you are here, mayhap I can put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls must be kept safe for travelers, yet I have been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It wouldn't do for our esteemed guests to be devoured by wolves, oh no. Yet that is precisely what will happen if we do not cull the roaming packs. Your map, if I may. Right there. Those are the points our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave it to you, old boy. Come, Monowar. I must return to my rounds. Oh dear, do be careful, my lord.
Vakama Flameborne, Wolfsbane. It pleases me to inform you that I've completed my rounds, and that all is well in Falcon's Nest. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you. You know, the one who made that arsonist confess? Clever, that. Thancred, was it? He was asking after you. Anyway, once I noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. I dispatched him to an area I neglected to mark on your map. Yes, this one. If you hurry, he might still be there. Fancy meeting you here, Vakama. 'Twas fortunate I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time in taking advantage of you, did he? And me, I suppose. Let us return to Falcon's Nest then, and see what other thrilling tasks he may have for us. And there they are, a pair of gallant heroes if I ever saw them, comrades in arms, reunited at last. By your selfless sacrifice have you guaranteed the safety of our many guests. On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. And with that, there is naught left to do but enjoy our well-earned respite. Oh, and this should of course go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us, yes? Otherwise wouldn't understand. Right then. The first floor of those barracks has been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go and have something to eat? Once a suggestion with which I can agree. Go on ahead, Vakama. I will join you anon.
Welcome, welcome! Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment. Cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks. Freed food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting. When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here to do my bit. My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with him.
You were right, mother. You look tired. Reckon you could do with a good long rest? After all you've done, I'd say you've earned it. Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep and leave us to our affairs.
This was never your fight.
My son. They told me he walks in Halone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
They told me the same.
I expect they think it's comforting. Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future. But he was my future, my flesh and blood, my heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness? Cowards, a lot of them. They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I! I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night. And I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin. All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do, makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Vulcan's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
No. I will not let that happen. They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
This is no time for napping. Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Dravarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter. Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice? Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters. Remember it, and strike back!
You there! Don't just stand around gawping! Do something, man! Stop her!
Yes, my lord.
See here the true nature of the Highborn. With lies and deception they lead us to our doom. And dare we raise our voices in dissent? Death is our reward. This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters. Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command. Death to all we hold dear. I spit on your choices, noblemen! You will take no more from me! No more! No more!
What have you done?
I only did as you ordered, my lord.
I gave no such order! I did not! I never meant for anyone to...
Well, that happened. I dare say that could not have played out any worse, given that the first... I dare say that could not have played out any worse, given that the first commander and Lord Artoirel were not here to take control of the situation. I spoke with the messenger, who said that they would be returning shortly, but until they do, naught will be done. Lord Amanelaine has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak to anyone. Therefore, it falls to us to ensure that order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people. My wife and I fell while fleeing with the others at first. The Kyrugians tended to our bruises after. Those mad fools have ruined everything, and for what? I'd heard the rumors that the young lord was a drunken fool. What imbecile thought it would be a good idea to let him have the run of Falcon's Nest? Well, I'll say him and Sir Emmerich can take their bloody change and shove it up their arses. I'll not be taken in by that rot again. They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her speak, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough? That their calls for justice can never be answered? Will this be the end of it, or will there be others like them and the true brothers? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again. I do not know if I ever can. Well, what say you? So, the violence has passed, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be expected. For the moment, it appears that no innocents were harmed by the guards. The blame for all the casualties can be placed squarely upon the protesters. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of a young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester. One whose words resonated with the hearts of many. After all, who among us has not lost loved ones? Lord Artoirel and the first commander should have returned by now. To the tavern, then. Their first order of business will be to speak with Lord Madeleine, and I somehow doubt that he has moved an ilm since last we saw him. Yeah, somehow I don't think he moved either. My apologies, Vakama. I bear full responsibility for this debacle. There'll be time for that later. I, for one, am more concerned about picking up the pieces. What do we know? According to the initial reports, the protest was orchestrated by the young woman whom Lord Madeleine ordered shot. She and her conspirators infiltrated Falcon's Nest, posing as servants and guests. Several were taken alive. Others resisted and were struck down. Still others took their own lives. Our forces suffered casualties as well, but by the grace of the Fury, no civilians were seriously injured. Still more remarkably, the ringleader yet lives, for the time being at least. The Kairoujians are doing what they can for her, but she may not live through the night. Given their impeccable timing, it is like that the convictors who drew us away from the hamlet were in league with the protesters. Accordingly, we have detained them for questioning. I'll be sworn that these villains spent as much effort plotting the failure of this peace conference as we did its success. Well, if the mood of the hamlet is any indication, theirs have been the more fruitful labours. In the wake of the protest, the people seem disillusioned. You spoke with him, then? I see. Sir Emmerich placed his trust in me. It will be difficult to explain what has happened here. Remember how far we've come, First Commander. The people's faith may be shaken, but we convinced them before, and will do so again. If we can but find a means to remind them, to show them once more the promise that change holds for all, then this tragedy too shall pass into the past. We must pray that you are right. Nevertheless, for the time being, I have no choice but to suspend the peace conference pending Sir Emmerich's final decision. Under the circumstances, I cannot leave Falcon's Nest. Vakama, will you deliver my reports to the Lord Commander in my stead?
Get up, Madeleine. You're going with him. Go on without me. I was not asking. You will answer for your actions. In person. Is that clear?
Yes, my lord.
Come on, Onoa.
Your manservant is not here. In fact, I have not seen him for some time. Onoa? Onoa! I could have sworn he was... Well, let's find the boy.
Onoa! No, no! What have they done to you? Onoa! Onoa!
Is that you, my lord? You seem rather flustered.
Because of you, you imbecile! What in the seven hells happened to you?
My apologies. Some few of the guests expressed a wish to leave, and I implored them to stay. It would seem they took issue with my request.
Oh, gods forgive me. If I had only been more careful with my words.
Do not blame yourself, my lord. I know that you and your brother have Ishgard's best interests at heart. That poor woman. She lives in the past, clinging to the memories of the lost. But the future holds so much promise, so much joy. And you know that better than any.
Onoa?
Calm yourself. The boy will live. But it's imperative we get him inside and into the care of a Chirurgeon without delay.
Oh, we were so close! Why does it all have to fall to pieces? Don't they want to live in peace? Don't they want to be happy? We all want the same thing! And still it falls to pieces! Tell me, what was I supposed to do? Someone, anyone, tell me, what was I supposed to do?
Stop looking to others. You make your choice and you live with the consequences.
And what would you know about consequences? You who always know just what to say and just what to do. Your every deed is greeted with a round of applause.
You know nothing about me. I have fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear. Done everything in my power to save them. And I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have.
He kinda had that coming. I may have overreacted, but it needed to be done. It was becoming hysterical. I understand the desire to look for reasons, for excuses, to convince yourself you had no choice. But the past is the past, and there is naught to be gained from reliving your mistakes. I know this. I know this. I have no desire to wait for the lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. We have important matters to attend to in Ishgard. So I think I will speak with Emmerich and then call it for right now because I have to get dinner going. Running! You expected so. Pray proceed. Word of the demonstration and its resolution outstripped you, Vakama. Every man, woman, and child of Ishgard has heard the tale. 'Tis rumored that my youngest's lack of judgment was to blame. Of course, such stories are prone to exaggeration. What exactly came to pass? I see. So that is the truth of it. Regardless of his intent, the result was undeniable. He has furthered the cause of these misguided few who cannot let go of the past. In an instant, the delicate peace we were poised to forge is once more beyond us. To dwell so deeply on the war and the vengeance it begets, only for that too to be taken away. Is it any wonder that they were left bereft? For what was this sacrifice? Have we naught to show for our suffering? I thought peace is a sufficient salve, but mayhap I was mistaken. We are warriors, Lord Edmond, and ours is a nation built on centuries of warfare. Right or wrong, this is who we are, and we deny it at our peril. To hold on to the past, without being beholden to it. I must needs find a way to honor the sacrifice of our forefathers without glorying in their excesses. A difficult path, to be sure. We dare not deny the scars which mar our nation's soul, lest we spur other disillusioned souls to retrace them. But as you say, we dare not revel in past glories either, for they are tainted all. A clear, unambiguous enemy, and an undeniable righteous cause.
'Tis a bitter reflection, but lies though they were, they did long serve to unite us. No truth will ever serve as well, I fear. Yet, we are not without options. At our last meeting, a proposal was tabled by the other members of the Aeosian Alliance for joint military exercises to strengthen the ties between our nations and test our readiness to meet the common threat. I had thought to delay these exercises until after the peace conference. Perhaps a grand melee would be just the thing to lift our beleaguered spirits. Better still, an occasion for the Temple Knights on the watch to take the field as allies. A unified Ishgardian force filled with men and women from all walks of life, which would stand against a coalition of the allied nations' finest. Hosted by Ishgard in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, a victor under such circumstances would serve as a reaffirmation, nay, a declaration to all and sundry that we are as strong and united as ever. Such a victory would do much to fan the flames of patriotism, it is true. But if we should be defeated, though, even to hold our own against the claim of 3 nations might be presented as a triumph. Very well. You may count on my support, what little it is worth. However, I have a request. I would have my son Amalek take part in the grand melee. By his deeds has he brought shame upon Ishgard, and so by his deeds I would have him bring our nation honor. As you wish, my lord. That is his desire, and it shall be so. Now then, we have no time to lose. Come, would you be so kind as to deliver my instructions to Lucia? I shall write to the Alliance leaders at once and begin making arrangements for the grand melee. Should you chance to see my son, pray inform him of his duty. If he has not already returned, he will soon enough, making every effort to avoid me. And with that, I'm going to call it for now, because as I said, I have to get dinner going. So until next time, be happy, be well, be healthy, and good day to you all.